In the hidden corners of our modern world, danger still lurks. The Mafia, an ancient and deadly network, continues to thrive, evolving with the times. In today's video, we're diving into the shadowy realm of the deadliest Mafia bosses who are still active in 2024. These powerful figures operate in the shadows, their names whispered with fear and respect. They command armies of loyal followers, control vast criminal empires, and maintain a grip on power through ruthless tactics. Stay with us as we reveal the top 5 deadliest Mafia bosses who are still pulling the strings of organized crime today. You won't believe who is still out there, wielding power and evading capture. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon, so you never miss an update on our latest investigations into the world's most dangerous criminals. Now, let's get started. Meet Semyon Mogilevich, the brainy Don, with a mind as sharp as a tack and ruthlessness to match. Even law enforcement describes him as the most dangerous mobster in the world. The Ukraine native's criminal career spans decades, involving arms trafficking, contract murders, human trafficking, and international prostitution rings. He epitomizes the modern-day mafia boss, successfully merging traditional criminal enterprises with the complexities of global finance. Mogilevich's reach into the corporate world is as impressive as it is terrifying. He's linked to numerous companies, from energy firms to banks, using them as fronts for massive money laundering operations. His ability to navigate international finance has allowed him to launder billions, securing his position in the criminal hierarchy. Under Mogilevich's guidance, the Russian mafia operates with a sophistication rivaling any multinational corporation. He is rumored to have significant political protection, allowing him to operate with relative impunity despite being on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. Believed to reside in Russia, Mogilevich continues to oversee his vast criminal empire. The Russian government shows little interest in extraditing him, possibly due to his Kremlin connections. His reputation for violence is well known, with a trail of bodies marking his rise to power. Mogilevich blurs the lines between legitimate business and criminal enterprise, making him a particularly insidious threat. Next, we move to the Big Apple, New York, to meet another deadly mafia boss. At the helm of the Bonanno family is Michael Mancuso, known as Mickey Scars. After serving a 10-year prison sentence for the second-degree murder of his wife, Ivina, Mancuso emerged from prison hardened and thirsty for power. His criminal profile earned him induction into the Bonanno family, where he quickly rose through the ranks. As captain, Mancuso oversaw his crew with an iron fist, protecting the family's interests and dealing swiftly with enemies. His nickname, Mikey Nose, became synonymous with fear and respect. Mancuso's influence grew, making him a key player in the family's operations, from extortion rackets to illicit gambling. As the new millennium approached, the Bonanno family faced challenges from law enforcement and rival factions. Mancuso's leadership qualities were recognized, and when the acting boss was arrested on racketeering and murder charges, Mancuso took the reins. In 2004, he orchestrated the murder of Randolph Pizzolo, an associate deemed reckless and a liability. Despite being sentenced to 15 years in prison in 2008, Mancuso's influence within the Bonanno family remained strong. In 2013, while still incarcerated, he was named the new official boss. Upon his release in 2019, Mancuso wasted no time restructuring the family, sidelining those who opposed him and appointing loyalists to key positions. He balanced traditional revenue streams like loan sharking and gambling with new opportunities, ensuring the family's financial edge. His goal was simple: to ensure the Bonanno family's prosperity in an era where the old rules of organized crime no longer guaranteed success. But in 2020, Mancuso once again found himself on the wrong side of the law. Arrested for violating the terms of his supervised release by associating with known criminals, he was sentenced to 11 months in prison. This setback highlighted the unstable nature of life at the top of a mafia family. As Mancuso serves his time, the future of the Bonanno family hangs in the balance. However, the same cannot be said of Robert D'Onofrio, a feared enforcer who rose to the top of the New York underworld and continues to roam free. Little Robert D'Onofrio, the enforcer, was a significant figure during one of the most violent episodes in American mafia history, the Colombo Family War. In 1991, D'Onofrio switched sides, aligning himself with the faction loyal to the official boss, Carmine Jr. Persico, demonstrating his strategic acumen and understanding of the family's power dynamics. His loyalty to the Persico faction came at a cost, embroiling him in plots to eliminate key figures of the rival Arena faction. Ironically, it was Victor Little Vic Orena who had inducted D'Onofrio into the Colombo family, but now they were enemies. According to an FBI report, D'Onofrio was part of a hit team that twice attempted to assassinate William Wild Bill Cutolo, a prominent member of the opposition. The first attempt, planned for Thanksgiving Day in 1991, involved hitmen disguised as Hasidic Jews armed with machine guns and bulletproof vests, a plan ultimately aborted by the faction's leadership. In 1992, D'Onofrio's fate took a decisive turn when he, along with others, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit murder. Brooklyn federal judge I. Leo Glasser, recognizing the extent of the crimes yet the absence of actual murder, sentenced those convicted at trial to 13 years and those who pleaded guilty, like Little Robert, to 8 years behind bars. Upon his release from prison in July 2000, D'Onofrio did not retreat into the shadows, but instead re-established himself within the family. His connections to both the Persico and Orena factions positioned him as a unifying figure. As the Colombo crime family faced the aftermath of a federal racketeering case that saw 14 guilty pleas, including that of the reputed boss-in-waiting Theodore Skinny Teddy Persico, the stage was set for Little Robert's rise to acting boss. His appointment signaled a new chapter for the Colombos, one in which the lessons of the past would shape the strategies of the future. Despite operating under the radar, D'Onofrio has absolute control over the family's business. He oversees various rackets from loan sharking and gambling to the more sophisticated realms of white-collar crime. His ability to adapt to the changing dynamics of the criminal world while maintaining the family's core operations speaks to his acumen as a leader. The respect Little Robert commands is evident in how he has managed to avoid the legal entanglements that have ensnared other members of the mafia. This ability to evade the law's grasp while steering the family's course clearly indicates his savvy and discretion. D'Onofrio's influence is also reflected in the loyalty he inspires among his associates. Next one is Liborio Bellomo. The calculated boss, Liborio Barney Bellomo's rise within the Genovese crime family was marked by strategic acumen and discretion. Inducted into La Cosa Nostra at a young age, Bellomo quickly proved his leadership potential. By the early 1980s, he led the 116th Street crew, involved in various illicit activities including labor racketeering. Bellomo's approach to mafia business was unconventional. Preferring a low profile, he often met with fellow mobsters in secluded locations, wearing unassuming attire. Under his leadership, the Genovese family's influence in the construction industry grew, particularly within the New York City District Council of Carpenters. Despite facing significant legal challenges, including a 1996 indictment under the RICO Act, Bellomo's influence remained strong. He pleaded guilty to extortion charges and served 10 years in prison. Upon his release in 2008, Bellomo resumed his role within the Genovese family, strategically consolidating control and reaffirming his influence. And finally on our list is Victor Amuso, the ruthless leader. Victor Little Vic. Amuso's tenure as the boss of the Lucchese crime family was marked by relentless pursuit of power and wealth. Drawn to the family at a young age, Amuso quickly ascended the ranks, becoming the boss in the late 1980s following the death of Anthony Corallo. Amuso's leadership was characterized by authoritarian rule and diverse criminal activities, including control over the garment district and construction industry. His ruthless disposition led to numerous power struggles and violent confrontations. In the early 1990s, Amuso became a fugitive following multiple indictments. His downfall was precipitated by the capture and betrayal of his trusted enforcer, Anthony Gaspipe Casso. After nearly a year on the run, Amuso was apprehended and convicted on multiple charges, receiving a life sentence without parole. Amuso's reign left a significant impact on the Lucchese family and the broader criminal underworld. His conviction, alongside other mafia bosses, marked a turning point in the fight against organized crime, demonstrating the effectiveness of RICO laws and the determination of law enforcement. In conclusion, powerful mafia bosses continue to dominate and instill fear. Semyon Mogilevich controls a vast criminal empire with global reach. Michael Mancuso rules the Bonanno family with a mix of brutality and strategy. And Little Robert D'Onofrio commands respect within the Colombo family through his adept maneuvering. Liborio Bellomo's low-profile yet influential leadership shapes the Genovese family's activities, while Victor Amuso's ruthless reign over the Lucchese family left a significant mark on the criminal underworld. These figures exemplify the ongoing evolution and endurance of the mafia in today's world.